I was a classmate of Manny in college. I was ahead by a semester or so, but we were in the College of Business Administration in UP at the same time. Manny is a very close friend of mine. I can tell you that. I saw him at college, and I saw him when he was Speaker of the House, when he was Senator. When we came to the U.S., we even resided in an apartment that he developed. He's a very simple guy, I'm telling you. He and Cynthia came to the house, had breakfast with us. And so you can see a great man, going to your level. I mean, and he was already accomplished at the time.
Exactly.
And yet he would come and have breakfast with you. Going back to college, I entered our fraternity. Both Elmore and I are in Pansinya fraternity. We are not known for rambles. Our members became Prime Minister of the country, Cesar Virata. Jimmy Laya was Central Bank Governor. Odi Corpus was Secretary of Education. Paeng Salas, if you remember him, was Executive Director of the Population Center in the UN.
Executive Secretary.
And Executive Secretary as well. Hil Puyat, these were our members. And now, Manny, who will be the next president of the Philippines. I entered the fraternity ahead of Manny. And when he joined the fraternity, I was the chairman of the membership committee. They started with about 6 or 12, between 6 and 10. But I knew the potential of Manny, and I knew how dedicated he was when he is working on something. You know how hard it is to enter a fraternity. Out of half a dozen or 10 people who started, guess how many survived? Give me a guess.
2 or 3.
One. And that's Manny Villar. That's Manny Villar, and I can be proud in telling you that I was instrumental in having him in our fraternity because I knew the potential. I knew the kind of guy he was. You will see it yourself later. You have seen it, and I think you will see more of him. You know, if you become close to him, you will know how humble he is. And then, of course, you know, we all went our ways, and he became, you know, the billionaire that he is right now. And you know why? Because of perseverance. Because of perseverance. We all studied the same things. We were all told, look at opportunities, convert that into things that you can capitalize on, and he did. We were not able to do it, he was able to do it. And that's the same thing that he will do with the Philippines. When I saw him, when he was Speaker of the House, he said, Brad, one of these days I will run for the presidency of the Philippines because I thought, because he knew that he could serve the country, and he knew what was needed in our country. So if there's anybody there, and I know many of these candidates. I used to be in the government too. When I left the Philippines, I was assistant to the Secretary of Education. I was the one who started the Asian Institute of Tourism in UP. So I knew how it was then, and I knew what the government needed. I left because I could not stomach graft and corruption in the Philippines. But I think Manny will do something about that. So that's Manny, his perseverance, his dedication, his interest in uplifting the Philippines. That's Manny Villar for you. And then there is the humble Manny Villar. I told you about him having breakfast with us at home. I have 6 children. Okay. When he came, we only had 4, right? Yeah. We just came to the U.S. And we only had 4 children. And at that time, we were living in a 2-bedroom apartment, one of his apartments in Glendale. And you know, if he would be strict, he would have booted us out.
Yes.
right? Because
Okay, my mom and my dad.
2 bedrooms, my 2 bedrooms with 4 children, my wife and me, and then my in-laws came, my father-in-law, mother-in-law, my sisters-in-law. So you can imagine, that was the house we were renting from him at that time. He ate breakfast with us. He knew who were living in his apartment, but he let us go. He let us, have it because he knew how, how difficult it is to start. Yeah? So you can see the kind of person he was. And the same is true with Cynthia. Cynthia was there. I mean, we offered the same thing. Itlog, longganisa,
Fried rice.
And to pursue that, I don't know if you know Arco Foods in Glendale.
Yeah.
We are friends with the owner, Susie. And Susie said, I will support Villar. You know why? Because I saw him come to the store. He didn't even introduce himself. And he was lining up together with other customers. And he said, if only for that, if only for, for showing how humble he could be, I will support Villar. And he is, and she is a great supporter of Manny Villar. The last time I saw him was 2004 when I went home. That was the last time I saw him. And at the time he was already senator. And it was difficult to contact him, but I asked his staff that I was in town. Would you believe he told his staff, tell Eryl I will meet him at Shangri-La at this time. And he did. But he stayed with me for about an hour. For you to be with a senator who was that busy for an hour is already something. And I admired him for that. Because I never expected him to stay that long. And then he stood up. And of course I was inviting him so that I could treat him. When I was paying, the waitress said, Sir, binayaran na ho ni Senator. I mean, it's something that I invited him and yet he paid for it. Of course, he can afford that more than I can. So persevering, focused, he is an achiever, and he knows what the country needs, and I think he will work for it. Just like what you said, he already has everything.
Yes.
He's not running his business anymore. He is fully dedicated to serving the country, and he said that to me. He said that I'm full-time. I'm full-time serving the country. That's all. I've left the business to my children. Oh, by the way, one of the things that we can do, if I may suggest, for those of you who are doing the internet, I think you've seen the beautiful house that was being,
That was
The mansion?
already.
and it was circulated in my circle. And what I'm suggesting is that you convert this support to positive energy.
Yes.
Stop it. I was able to stop the one that was circulating. If you stand up for him, the rest will understand because they think that they will do other candidates a favor if they attack Manny. What they do not know is that they are doing the country a disservice by attacking Manny, because there is only one candidate there who can make things happen. He is an entrepreneur, he is focused, he is dedicated, and I think that's the kind of leader that we want. Fortunately, I know some of the candidates who are running because I was in the government then. But I know how they compare, and I won't name names. They were politicians through and through. I don't think they can compare with Manny. Manny already has the resources. He does not have to make money from the government, and I think all he needs to do now is to make history for the country.